All right, people, part two. Oh, there she goes again. Out here talking with my big mouth. I thought I'd just go into a little more horsemanship here, and you get a chance to see Felina ride, and I thought it'd be good. People want to see what she does and what our days kind of look like. All the good, the bad, and the ugly. I took a little break there in between for, yes, nothing major happened. She just doing the same thing. Just wanted to try a little bit. But I thought I'd film some of this part where it gets a little more big. The obstacles get a little bigger, water crossing and stuff like that. This is still a small one that we're about to go right now. We're usually going to go that way, but I want to take her out over here. They just built this part. This is fairly new. And I thought I'd see if she does. It's early in the morning. Sometimes when I see these horses, I just want to see if you'll let me do something to you, to be honest. Oh, it's a guy running. I'm going to be quiet here. I don't want him to think I'm talking to myself like I'm some damn weirdo. Hold on. He doesn't even see me. It's all right. Let's see how she acts. Morning, sir. How are you?
How you doing?
Oh, can't complain.
Going this way or that way?
I'm about to go through that water.
Right through it, all right. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, just schooling up this young horse right here.
All right, have a good one.
Oh, you too, sir. Come on, girl. Whew. There we go. Obviously, that sees people. Last week she was kind of... Actually, about a week ago, she was still getting kind of touchy about it. Will you go up this? Let's see if you'll go up this. Ugh. Oh, doing this one-handed, girl. I know. Ooh, no hesitation. See, and this is right here, that sound, that hollow sound, can really get to them sometimes. Oh, finish it out. There you go, baby girl. There you go. There you go. Oh, and right there's the nerves. See how she wants to trot up out of that? Just nerves. It's okay. And I'm sitting here to say, hey, no, you did good. Get your confidence up, Like, this is, go out here. This is our time to relax. I'm not schooling. Look, pitching that rein. Now, I did have her on a really loose rein. Something that we've been trying to get over is she hates, and this is my fault, because I'm just a stupid 25-year-old. I put a really harsh Makati on her, and I really wasn't thinking, because a lot of my other horses take to it really easy. Like, it's a crappy braided Makati. When I throw it on, like, the rope halter, like, I don't put it on my hackamores, and I just, do it just for whatever. And I didn't, like, she was pretty sensitive to it, and it was on her face, and whoo, man, was she striking out at it. So I said, okay, I'll switch to these, and she hasn't quite fully forgiven me. If I would have just went to something like this that was nice and soft, I probably would have been okay. But, guess what? Sometimes you make mistakes. Like I said, I don't know everything. I do a lot of stupid stuff. It is what it is, But I'll get her over it. But, like, I know now that she's, like, especially, you can see how this is tied up out here. At the bottom, that part that kind of rests against her chin, she gets a little touchy with that. And I just say, because she thinks it's going to be that horsehair Makati that's really prickly. But now I can't put horsehair Makatis on her. But it's okay, sometimes you make mistakes. I shouldn't have put that rough piece on. I know now that I'm never putting that rough piece on another horse again. Even though some of the ones I have, like, some of my horses were okay with it, but no. I will start them in this, and then I go to my really good braided horsehair Makatis that aren't that prickly. Like, this one was just braided like crap. And I'm really upset that I did that to her. But you guess what? I'm 25. I do a lot of stupid shit. Oh, and I just cussed. My grandmother's gonna get mad if she watches this video now. But, you live and you learn. It's funny because before I started training horses, I was like, oh my gosh, that trainer did something terrible. And now I'm like, now I train horses, I'm like, you know what? I probably would have done something 10 times as stupid. You gotta learn to be forgiven. Some of these horses really do humble you. They make you feel about just this small at times. But you know what? Mistakes happen. As long as you live from them and improve, you're good. There we go, baby. And that part right there is extremely deep. Funny story. Oh my gosh, I had to be like 20, 21. And it was like when I really, really wanted to start getting into horses. I took my horse here, and it was after it was raining for a while, and I think it was like 30, 20 degree weather. And we went through here, and he went all the way up to his neck. I know it doesn't look that deep, but sometimes this flood's really bad. And oh my gosh, I had to ride back in the freezing cold. Me and my horse were completely soaked. He looked at me. Oh my gosh, if he had hands, he would have strangled me. Oh, don't you dare. And she just balked at that right there. But like I said, I picked up on her and she stopped. Like I said, it's okay. And you know, she's a pretty damn powerful horse, man. Like, she's just built. This might be, you know, a lot of the horses I get, you know, I'm training rescues and stuff like that. But this is like, she's completely healthy. She's a big girl, man. She's strong. She's real powerful. Like, you know, for a lot of people, this is pretty intimidating. But this is probably one of the most high quality horses I ever got on. You know, and she's like ready to go. She's 7, never touched. You know, so sometimes, you know, you'll see some people not be so forgiving with that kind of stuff, and they start getting nervous and they want to tighten up on the reins. Nah, keep them things loose. It's, I think about some of this stuff that my mentor used to teach me, and I never got what he was really saying. Easy, baby girl, easy. I never got what he was saying or trying to instill in me, like, you know, put in my mind. I don't even know if I used that word instill right. Probably said it wrong too. My English ain't the best, but you know, some of the stuff that he wanted to teach me at that time, and it didn't really click till later on down the line. I remember some phrases. You know, I'll admit sometimes I'd be scared of my horse, even though I do some things. I mean, I remember one day this horse barely threw out a little bit of a buck, and he said, "You're scared?" I said, "Yeah, man, I might need some help in the pen." He said, No, son, no, you don't. He said, "That means you didn't do your groundwork well enough." But he told me this phrase, and it stuck with me, and I didn't really start believing it until maybe a couple months ago. And I say it to myself every day. It's nothing. There ain't nothing I can't do, damn little I won't try. And he used to tell me this story about how the boss man used to say that to him all the time. And he said, man, and then one day you just start to believe it. And now I do, man. I do a lot of stupid stuff on horses. And some people look at me like, you give your horse that much leeway? I'm like, yeah, I do. And he says, why? You're going to go out here and do that quick on a horse? I'm like, yeah, I do. He says, you know, that's where it goes back to that relationship and trusting. You got to put yourself out there sometimes. Easy. And then he always told me this too, every morning. We have, you know, talked about more than just horses. Gave me life advice. And he'd always said this to me. I didn't get why he was always saying it to me, but I'm starting to put together the pieces. Maybe I don't understand it fully. You know, maybe when I hit 30 and 40 and 50, I'll understand a little more, understand a little less. But he always used to look at me and say, I don't fear death. And I never understood it, why he kept saying it to me. And I get it now. He said, that fear isn't real. You know, death is something that you can't ever get away from. It's going to happen. So don't let that fear take you away from living. And that's kind of what I'm starting to piece together is, you know, a lot of people get fearful and like, oh no, I won't even try. And then if you just would have tried or put yourself out there or took that little bit of risk, man, you probably would have got something great. You probably could do something that no one's ever done before or ever seen. Or you could have, you know, even with these horses, like sometimes you just got to take the risk. And he said, don't be afraid. Don't let that fear consume you. You know what I'm doing right now? Like, and this isn't her first trail ride either. I get out here in the woods, you know, I put a little bit of a handle on them, and I'm pitching her the reins. Like, these aren't tight. Like, you know, these things are flopping around. I'm giving her her head. I'm letting her go out here and trot. She could take off running. She could take off bucking if she really wanted to. I'm out here by myself. Like, in a way, this can be kind of dangerous. You know, it's not like anyone's going to come looking for me if something happens. And you have to know that. You have to understand that risk. But I'm not going to let that fear consume me. You know, maybe one day I'll get into a really bad wreck and I'll start being a little more conservative about what I do. But until that day, I'm going to keep living fast and living stupid. But, you know, you got to take that risk to make good horses. You know, I'm putting myself at risk, so whoever she goes to next can go out here and enjoy her and not have to worry about a damn thing. My horse needs to have been there, done that, bought that t-shirt at the end of the day. And that's another Val saying that he always, that he always told me, you know, you gotta throw the kitchen sink at them. They need to been there and done that. Been around the world twice and back. You know, so if you see something, if you see a hole, fill it. You know, if I see something, I'm gonna let her balk at a little bit of stuff right here, but don't get me wrong. There's gonna be a time where I'm like, okay, I know you balk at it and the balk's get a little low. Now I'm gonna make you face up to it. Now I'm gonna make you really go after it and say, hey, there ain't a damn thing you need to be scared of. And that right there is gonna put that confidence in her. All right, I might make a part 3, might not. I might just sit here and enjoy the rest of my ride. Like I said, she's trotting off now, but towards the end, don't worry, she'll get all mellowed out and be like, whew. Like I said, we're just getting stuff off our mind today. Ain't nothing like a nice day through the woods. Clear your mind. All right, stay tuned, or maybe this might be the end. Who knows?